it's no use. I just can't sleep. My delicate inner sense of danger tells me that there's something faintly foreboding in the atmosphere.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween, everybody!
Well, happy Halloween. We are the Amateur Film Critics. And Zion, this is our first ever Halloween special.
Yes, it is.
So we chose not one, but two movies for what I am calling
Two
the
movies.
Halloween drive-in double feature.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm calling that. I don't know how Zion feels about it or not, but I'm calling it that. Yeah, so Zion, you actually found our two movies for today, so you want to explain why you chose them before we get into it?
Okay. So the first one, which is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, this one, it was featured in Gremlins, which is one of the reasons why I chose it. After I was done watching that, I watched this top 10 video.
Yeah.
Top 10 50s invasion stories, and
Nice.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers was on there, and at number one was War of the Worlds, and so I thought,
that was number one?
Yeah, maybe we could do a compare and contrast video on these films, and so I found it on Pluto TV, and so I watched it.
Well, I think these movies definitely they'll be interesting to compare and contrast because they're actually, even for both being very 50s invasion films, as you call them, they're both very different.
They're different films.
Yeah, before we get into the plot summaries, I actually have a funny story about War of the Worlds. So last year for school, I had to listen to this radio broadcast from the 1930s.
Oh, what, the radio broadcast by Orson Welles?
Orson Welles. Yeah. And so if you know the story behind this, you probably have heard of this.
Yeah, I know the story behind this.
What happened was the radio broadcast was based off the book War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells. And they formatted the radio broadcast to sound like a series of news bulletins, and so people listened to it, and they thought it was real,
and thought aliens were actually.
Yeah, they thought aliens were actually coming down. It's just a super interesting thing to think about because there was a day when a lot of America thought that the world was coming under attack by aliens.
Please, you must believe me. This is no hoax. This is a real invasion.
Oh, yeah? Why don't I just punch you in the nose, bud?
Nosebud.
All right, so we have 2 plot summaries for you today, so I'm going to get right into them. The first one is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which goes, in Santa Mira, California, Dr. Miles Bennell, played by Kevin McCarthy, is baffled when all his patients come to him with the same complaint. Their loved ones seem to have been replaced by emotionless imposters. Despite others' dismissive denials, Dr. Bennell, his former girlfriend Becky, and his friend Jack soon discover that the patient's suspicions are true. An alien species of human duplicates grown from plant-like pods is taking over the small town. So that's Invasion of the Body Snatchers plot summary, which I did not know, Zion, going into it, that I knew that the aliens would, impersonate people. I did not know that they did it through plant-like pods. Did you know that going into this? Because I had no idea, so that was a bit surprising to me.
Well, I saw in Gremlins on the TV.
Yeah.
And, they show a clip of the plant pods, opening. And so I had a basic idea on how this was, but...
Yeah, so you knew more about this film than me going into it, for sure, then.
Just because of
Gremlins.
Gremlins.
Yes, okay. Alright, so then we have War of the Worlds, which is scientist Clayton Forrester, played by Gene Barry, and Sylvia Von Buren, played by Anne Robinson, are the first to arrive at the crash site of a meteorite crash. Soon after, an alien war machine emerges and begins killing at random. The Marines are called in, but they're no match for the aliens' force field. Forrester and Von Buren, however, are able to wound one of the creatures and procure a sample of its blood. They take it to Los Angeles, where they hope, through testing, to be able to discover the alien's weakness. Now, it's funny that they mentioned the blood in that, because that felt like a very minor point of the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It led to nothing.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I think we should just get into our topics here. So the first topic on the docket, because we're going to switch this up. This is not technically a season 2 episode, y'all.
No.
We're going to switch this up. And so the topics are going to be completely about comparing one movie to the other. And we'll probably still rate them at the end. But we'll definitely choose a clear winner. All right? That'll be...
Winner.
Yeah, we'll choose a clear winner. So the first topic is, who do you think had the better male lead, Zion?
Honestly, with War of the Worlds, it feels like, is the personality, in the War of the Worlds, the male lead's personality kind of changes halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's not a straightforward character. And I feel like they didn't have a clear aspect on what his personality was. If that makes sense. Whereas Invasion of the Body Snatchers, it feels like the shift in his personality changes more gradually. So, in my opinion, I would give this category to Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna
maybe. Yeah.
No, actually, I was gonna give it to Invasion of the Body Snatchers too. I thought that his character was slightly more realistic, the one in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, compared to the Clayton Forrester or whatever in War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
And with War of the Worlds, it felt like they were going just a little too much for this, I want to say macho man in a way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm going with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which brings us to our next corresponding category.
My girlfriend. I need to find my
I know, right?
girlfriend. I will not be stopped by the alien. She's in a church, but I have to check multiple churches because we need
Yes.
to make it a longer runtime.
Here's the deal. Actually, okay, that whole thing was kind of strange to me. I'll agree. I thought it was a nice detail that he knew she would be in a church, and I actually liked that he went to multiple churches because it felt more realistic. But yeah.
Well, I like that idea. That idea was like, I actually thought, okay, maybe this movie is much martyr than I thought it was.
Yeah, there was a lot of good detail in it.
Yeah. But then he'd take so much time in each church that I thought, yo, just find the girl and let's get on with this. Come on. You don't need to spend that much time.
Yeah.
In multiple churches.
All right, so that brings us to our next category, which is Best Female Lead, which, before choosing one, this brings me to, this made me realize how awful that female characters in the 50s could be. Because they didn't develop them that much. They were very, they made them very, like, whiny and, like, scream. Like, the entire point was for them to scream. You know what I mean?
I would say that's more in War of the Worlds.
Yes, definitely more in War of the Worlds. They did better with Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Which War of the Worlds came out earlier than Invasion of the Body Snatchers, so that may be why, but...
That is true, but it was only, like, 3 years difference. So
yeah,
we
it's only
can't
like 3 years
though.
So yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying not to. But
so does that mean that you also agree Invasion of the Body Snatchers had the better female lead?
Yeah, because in War of the Worlds, she likes screams so much and is so whiny.
And,
like,
well, I can understand.
That's how real females are.
Yeah, I mean, like, and I can understand, like, someone having somewhat of that reaction, but it's just, like...
It's just so much of it after a while.
She needs to try hard. Right. I feel like the movie characters need to be, like, slightly stronger and fight a little more than she did.
Best overall plot. Best overall plot is the next category.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Which is, the more we go into this, it's seeming like a landslide from my side. But what do you think?
In War of the Worlds, they throw like too much boring detail into their plot, you know.
Yes, I agree.
And that's why I say Invasion of the Body Snatchers wins this one, because there's you're at least intrigued.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna go kind of into the best beginning category with this one. In the beginning, we all already see our main character like has gone insane, and so you're at least throughout that plot, you're at least intrigued on how did he get from his calm self to this. Psychomaniac.
Yeah, I wouldn't call him a psychomaniac, but I understand what you're saying, absolutely. Another thing I will say is that Invasion of the Body Snatchers plot, like, from, like, a perspective of back then, Invasion of the Body Snatchers was more creative than I would say than I would say War of the Worlds, even though War of the Worlds probably did start the alien invasion genre. I could totally see that, like, being the very first one ever. I feel like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, even though its plot nowadays has probably been used over and over again in a multitude of things, it was still pretty creative for right back then. So I'm also going to go with Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next topic, best beginning. Westbound starts off.
Yeah, Westbound starts off better.
I feel like I kind of more explained this in the last section, but I think Invasion of the Body Snatchers with its beginning, it kind of like sets you up on how more intrigued you are, and it kind of like sets you up on, okay, is this an illusion he has, or is this actually,
Yeah.
what's actually happening?
With War of the Worlds, something I did not like. We've been saying I did not like about War of the Worlds quite a bit, which is worrying.
Well,
But
I will say this about War of the Worlds, okay? In the very beginning of that one, where it explains why the aliens chose Earth, I
Yeah.
actually like that.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. But when it gets to them actually on Earth, it starts
slower.
Okay. It starts, well, it kind of are wanting the aliens to, like, destroy them.
Whoa.
In the beginning, the humans they seem more worried about how they can make money off of this. And, and all the things that they can do to, like, promote them. And so it gets kind of political, but then it gets not.
Okay. I would say...
But it starts off lower, definitely. But,
I agree. Invasion of the Body Snatchers hooks you a little more with it.
yeah.
But War of the Worlds actually still had a pretty good one from a storytelling standpoint. You just have to look at these.
Yeah.
The big problem with comparing these movies is they're so different. So depending on which one you lean to, that's gonna change your choices.
But
yeah. So next one we have,
however, best ending. This is.
Oh.
I'm gonna say something about War of the Worlds. That ending was pretty dumb.
Amen. Yes.
How they defeat the alien? I'm like, come on. So what happens in the ending is they basically the scientists have to, like, move their scientific equipment somewhere else, but then like crooks and stuff basically try to take their trucks, and so they end up, and, like, there's probably, like, hundreds of crooks just surrounding the trucks and just trying to get onto them. It's that part. More time I thought about it, I couldn't stop thinking about that for some reason. I have no idea why, but anyway, so then he tries to find the girl in a church, but then the aliens just, like, stop destroying things. And it finds out, it's because of our bacteria.
I know, right? They just dropped dead.
They just dropped dead.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's not how we're ending this movie. I was like, are you serious? Like, it's just...
Like, missiles couldn't, like, stop them. Atomic bombs couldn't even stop them. But our bacteria, kills all.
I know, right? It's the only thing that I can say that makes this, that makes the ending slightly better for me. Still hate it. It's still an awful ending. But the only thing that shows that there might have been a little bit of thought into this ending is that what kills them was not by man, but what you could call an act of God in a way. And there's all the religious themes throughout it. So there's a little bit of storytelling, like, continuation of that theme, I feel like. But it still is not a great ending, in my opinion.
And why and then they at least go check out inside of the ship. I mean, come on. I'm
sure they did after
go
the
look
fact,
in the ship. I wanted them to show the inside of the ship. I thought they would, like, walk into it and find all the dead bodies, but nope.
Yeah, so that one wins over Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which, like, I think it ends with the Invasion of the Body Snatchers has somewhat pretty good. I will say it's kind of an open-ended ending. Yeah, I'll agree.
Yeah, I feel like if they showed the rest of it, then it would kind of ruin it. But
Yeah.
I feel like leaving it open is still think sometimes that's a good.
That's a good
way to
ending,
end
yeah.
the movie.
So we still haven't talked
Leaving it
about
open.
special effects. Which,
Oh, I forgot.
yeah,
Oh, I
but
kind
I
of
think
like a gift over that one, but
yeah. So
yeah.
from a special effects standpoint, we can agree that War of the Worlds definitely has more of them, right?
So World of the Worlds has more of them. The two scenes I would compare which show the special effects more is so Invasion of the Body Snatchers has that scene with the pods like opening
Yes.
and and showing the bodies and in War of the Worlds there's that there are multiple scenes. There's the scenes with the alien like shooting down the like
Yeah.
army people, and there's that farmhouse scene in the
Yes.
film, which is probably one of the better scenes. It's a scene that doesn't
Yes.
like make you fall asleep during it.
Yeah. So
Some of
I
the scenes
think
in this film I
I
got
think
bored with.
for the time, I think for the time period, we have to give special effects to War of the Worlds because, like, let's be honest, Invasion of the Body Snatchers didn't like. Okay, so from a total movie making standpoint, I think Invasion of the Body Snatchers did a good thing by not showing that much special effects because back then they didn't have the stuff to make it look good, right? But
Yeah, but the special effect they chose, I feel like, are more timeless than War of the Worlds.
yes,
Even though they have more of them.
true. But like War of the Worlds definitely like really tried with them, and so I think I want to give this category to the War of the World. What was your favorite scene from each film?
From each film,
Yeah.
an Invasion of the Body Snatchers, that's a little more tough.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have an individual scene that sticks out. Maybe like when they first discovered the dead body on the table, maybe.
Yeah, I really
things-
liked that scene.
In
I
that
agree.
film, an Invasion of the Body Snatchers, there's no individual scenes that really stick out.
Yeah, it runs very smoothly all
Because it's
together.
a good scene throughout. It runs really slowly. I would say the other scene I liked is when the man finds out how the girl turned into like an alien.
Yeah.
I also like that one. I also like when he runs out to the road and Dutch's like and finds out they're like mass spreading these things,
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
those
so-
aren't things that like stick out to me. Those are just good
Parts of the movie. Yeah.
scenes. They're good parts of the movie that like move the plot along. It really helps you not to get bored with the film.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
So
War
I'd
of the
probably
Worlds-
go with Invasion of the Worlds the same. For Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I would go the same. The dead body scene where it's on the table. I felt like that was very well done. It just stuck out slightly more than everything else for me. So with War of the Worlds, I feel like everything is much more chopped up a bit as far as what part of the movie. So things stick out, right?
Well, here's the thing. In War of the Worlds, it's supposed to feel longer than just a couple of days. It's supposed to feel. It's supposed to feel like this is maybe about like 4 or 5 years worth of.
Yeah, I don't know about years, but maybe months. But I do agree. It definitely is supposed to feel like it's happening over a longer time period.
Yeah.
So with that said, though, I think
my favorite scenes of that film I liked the farmhouse scene.
Mm-hmm.
I like the mob scene where they're trying to take over the trucks and like get onto the trucks.
Yeah.
You know that one. That one stuck out for some reason.
I would say the farmhouse scene was the one that would be my favorite. As far as like between both movies, I think the farmhouse scene is one of the best done scenes, like between both of them actually. Because
maybe
I
not
think
with the maybe not with the female character in that scene. But
okay, yeah, she was a bit of a mess, yes, but well, okay. At first, okay, before when I say farmhouse scene, I mean after the thing crashes into the house, not when they legit stop and take the time to make eggs. Because
yes, I would also say after the thing crashes into the house. I know.
Yeah, the like whole point, like they seriously made eggs and were sitting down to a meal, like.
Yeah, that's what I was also talking about. I know.
With that said, I don't think there's any standout best characters, so maybe we just go ahead and rate them. Don't you think?
Probably not. Yeah, I'll just rate them.
Let's start with War of the Worlds.
Oh, okay.
What are you thinking for War of the Worlds?
Maybe a 1.5.
No.
Why?
Listen, it wasn't the greatest movie, but
maybe a 2.
Okay.
A 2. I'll give it a 2.
All right, I'm going to give it I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Oh, by the way, because it is Halloween, this is 3 out of 5 jack-o'-lanterns. Zion is 2 out of 5 jack-o'-lanterns. As far as Zion, that's just a fact. It's Halloween, so we're using jack-o'-lanterns. No. But I'm going to give it a 3, and that's only because I look at this as sort of the start of alien movies in general. All right? And I think as far as that goes, I think they did a great job of especially showing, what would happen if the world went to war with these unstoppable aliens and all of that. There were plenty of times where it was pretty meh. But I think I'm going to give it a 3 just for the fact that, because, I think it's still a somewhat good movie. That brings us to Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Zion. Do you want to give your overall take on this film first?
This one, because with this one, there's not really a lot of bad things we had to say about it, honestly.
Yeah.
At time, I'd give this a. I don't think this was a perfect film. There were definitely scenes where I was like making fun of it. To myself, but I would still give this a 4.5.
Originally, I was thinking this is a 5 out of 5 film. All right. But as you started talking, I did realize that I did start to think about it. And as we compare this to other films that got perfect scores, like one that should have came out recently when this is coming out, is The Bad Seed, right? I would elevate The Bad Seed quite a bit over this film, particularly.
Probably, yeah.
So, while Invasion of the Body Snatchers is still one of, like, the better films we've reviewed on this podcast, I think there's something about it that still doesn't hit the mark of perfect score. So I'm actually going to agree and go with 4.5 on it, too.
Yeah.
So, that means that, obviously, our winner for today would be
the winner is
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Nobody should have saw that coming, considering they swept the first they swept all but one of the categories. Like there was no doubt about it. I think this goes from Zion, though. If we really look at it, I think this goes from the fact that we like the Twilight Zone a lot. And that's what Invasion of the Body
Yes,
Snatchers
that's
felt
my
like.
favorite.
Invasion of the
Yeah.
Body Snatchers was suspenseful, and it played on more of a building like tension thing and not being super in your face about things. You know what I mean? Whereas War of the Worlds was, I don't want to call it simplistic, but sometimes that's the tone and feeling that it gives off.
Yeah.
Which simplistic is kind of mean, to be honest, but
Yeah.
really, it War of the Worlds, still a good movie in my opinion. Maybe not in yours, but Invasion of the Body Snatchers was just better overall.
It was it had some good scenes in it. War of the Worlds did, but
Yeah,
to be honest, most of it I get kind of bored with.
Zion. It's any last
This
words
is
to
the-
say to the people on All Hallows Eve?
I mean, I liked how we compared the two films with this one. I kind of like.
Yeah, might have to bring this back in the future.
Well, yeah. I also did kind of the same thing with the finale of my September.
That is
which
true,
if
yes.
you have not watched yet.
I am
no,
not.
no,
I'm sorry. Yeah,
it's
I'm a
okay.
little behind
But
on my
so
September.
I would like to do this format again. Maybe we can bring it back sometime.
We will see you guys. There's only a couple episodes of. At this point, there's only a couple episodes of season 2 left, and then we'll get in season 3, which will be our Christmas season. Have a good Halloween. Yeah. Remember, subscribe, like, and follow our Instagram at Amateur Film Critics. Comment any movies you want us to review.
Hold on, my data say suggestion. Yes. What's your suggestion?
Why don't you compare a movie and its remake?
Oh, we should compare a movie and its remake.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have to find some good movie and remake.
We should make that its own a special.
That would be an awesome series. Yes. Okay, so expect that, a movie versus the remake series coming soon. Well, I don't know how soon, but coming. Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed this Halloween special. It's been very spooky.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye.